saying you always ask them what type of guy
I
they like? Is
ask
that?
them what's their type in a guy, and then through that, I recommend a drama based on the male lead, and if they meet those characteristics. So, oh, I don't like pretty boys. I'm not gonna recommend airs.
On today's episode of Kdrama Support Group, Dr. Tree got a chance to chat with our friend and mod, Carol Markwei from the Kdramatics Club on Instagram and Clubhouse. Her passion for K-dramas, Korean dramas, has opened up a whole new world for her, leading her to meet new friends, explore different cultures, and even visit many new places. But being a global citizen is not new to Carol, as her journey of being a K-drama watcher and fan began all the way in her home country of Ghana. Join us today as we hear her story.
Okay. Hi, Carol. How are you today?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm so glad to get a chance to chat with you today. So tell me about who you are. Like, where do you come from? Like, where do you live? Who is Carol?
Wow, loaded question right off the go. I'm Carol Markwei, and originally from Ghana. I live in Vancouver, Canada now, and I moved here in 2007 for school, and I've just created my life here now. Yeah, I'm by day training and development manager for a security company, and when I'm not working, like you, I'm watching K-dramas and pursuing other interests. So, yeah, that's about me.
Very cool. And so, like, wow, like you're like Miss International. Like you live, like you're from Ghana, lived in Canada, watching Korean dramas. How's your Korean?
It is much better over the years. I'm still learning. I'm just in classes to write now. I know how to read. I want to practice how to write.
Wait, say again. You know how to read?
I know how to read now. I know how to read now. Like I've been through the members at the Kdramatics Club. I have met a couple of teachers, and I take a few classes here and there with them. So it's been good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you end up leading or being one of the administrators of the Kdramatics Club? Like, it's this hot happening club on Clubhouse, on Instagram. You guys are doing all of the things, like mostly Black ladies. I'm like, look at these ladies just like owning their addiction to K-dramas. Like, how did this happen? Own it.
I think I joined the team last year in January, and I think they had just started unofficially in December the year prior, so 2020 December. And
wait, I'm sorry, you're cutting out a bit there. Could you just repeat what you said? Just say what you were, how you joined. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I joined the team in January of 2021, and the club had started somewhere December 2020. It wasn't an official club at the beginning. It was more so I'm on Clubhouse. I started talking about K-dramas. Gael says he pulled in Anu and K, and then it just kept growing until officially they made it a club, and it's been history since. It's very exciting to work with the ladies. Now that we're outside, it's no longer the pandemic. We're working with different schedules and life outside and all of that. But I do find that every day the conversations about K-dramas are still happening, even if it's just within the admins, and there are 8 of us, as you know. So yeah, that's a little bit about how I got into Kdramatics Club, and I want it to be bigger. I would love it to be bigger. So I've been working on that in times. Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. I mean, I think he has like 15,000 followers at this point. So like, there's like a lot of people. And I saw you featured in Teen Vogue. I was like, look at Teen Vogue. Like, oh yeah, the K-pop collective, because there's a lot of people another organization or like club also led largely by Black women, the K-pop collective. Black girls were like unabashedly fans of K-pop, and Teen Vogue's like, and shout out to their sister group,
I
the
know.
Kdramatics Club. I was like, yes.
I know. Yes. Anu was or is the owner of the K-pop Kickback, and she's also an admin with the Kdramatics Club. So it was just perfect synergy.
Oh. So tell me, how did you end up watching Korean dramas? Because I feel like a lot of people will be like, you watch what? Like, who? What was your first drama?
Ooh, I just blanked out on that. I remember one of my earliest ones was Daejang-gum, so Jewel of the Palace. So that aired in like 2004.
Oh wait, so you know the name in Korean and in English. I was like, wait a minute, what's she doing there? I see you, boo. Okay, Jewel of the Palace.
So this, I know. While I still lived in Ghana, we had a new television station, and it was managed, or rather, it came from the Philippines. TV3 was a Filipino sort of corporation, and when they came into Ghana, they came with Korean dramas, Filipino dramas, Spanish, and so they were my main source. And like as a kid, I was already watching Japanese dramas and Chinese dramas on national TV. And so when TV3 came, it was just another added layer, which I really enjoyed, and I just continued. And then we got the internet, the dial-up internet at home. And I remember skipping school because I wanted to use the internet to load up drama episodes. And it was just this thing I would do as soon as my dad left. My siblings would go to school, and then I'd hang back and I'd load up the episodes on YouTube and on Crunchyroll back in the day. And while it's loading, because, internet speed was so bad, I would fry up some fries, sweet potato fries. And when I was done, I'd come sit down and then just watch episode after episode. And then I'd go to school and tell people give them spoilers about what's to come in the episodes ahead. So I was watching like a week or 2 weeks ahead of everyone else. And that was my side hustle. I used to sell episodes.
Look at you! I love that.
So yeah, it was an exciting time, and I just got tired of waiting for subtitles, and that's where I started learning the language so that I could watch with subtitles, and it's just been an ongoing thing for me. And yeah, here I am today.
Wow. And so, like, how many dramas have you watched?
I would say if I started my first one was in 97. So, and then from 2007, I was watching everything that was happening live. So I was watching possibly 8 dramas a week, 16 episodes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say I'd watched over 2,000 dramas.
Over what?
Over 2,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So wait, so what year did you start watching them again?
97.
2007 or 97?
97. That was my first drama on national TV. Then 2000, it ended, and then in 2002, that's when TV3 came and started like giving us shows. So
this one, who started giving us shows?
TV3, the national station I talked about. And then when we got dial-up internet in like 2004, 2005 at home, then that was it.
Huh. So this is so fascinating to me, Carol, because like not only were you're like not even an old head drama watcher, you're like the oldest head of K drama watchers that I personally know because I feel like a lot of people have been watching them since the 2000s, you know, but you're like, oh no, no, no. I was in a different century, guys.
I was in the melodrama Makjang era of That's My Stepbrother and Tears and Amnesia. Like that's when, the groundwork was being laid for the Amnesia trope. So yeah, I've watched.
Okay. Interesting, because it's interesting, especially because you're not Korean, right? You're not, you don't have Korean ancestry. You're not, you know, from Korea specifically, and so it's so fascinating to me because when I think about global media, I as an American, right? I live in the United States, and I think about oh yeah, Hollywood, you know, maybe Bollywood. But I'm Nigerian. I'm like, but don't forget Nollywood, right? Don't forget Nollywood. But it's like, oh, I feel like people in Africa were like already living these very global lives in terms of the media that they were consuming, and it was not even just like a Hollywood centrism. Like people have been, I talk to people and they're like, we'll talk about, oh yeah, I used to watch Mari Mad. I'm like, you used to watch a Mexican telenovela in Africa? I didn't even know about that. I only knew later on after it aired because I had Mexican friends who talked about it, you know.
That you know what, you're absolutely right. I find that has really shaped what I think of when I'm talking and moving through the world with people from different backgrounds, because you already exposed as a kid. I remember running from Sunday school to go watch a Chinese drama right after service, and so you're already exposed to Chinese language and culture, and now you're searching for food. And then there was a Japanese drama, and we had Spanish dramas. And my mom grew up on Bollywood shows, and the Chinese and the Spanish, and we had the American, the Bold and Beautiful, and Passions and stuff like that. But it wasn't as gripping, I find, for me, as the other stuff. So the Korean, the Spanish, the Filipino, Bollywood, Nollywood, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Now I'm feeling a little bad. So I'm like, you guys have like K dramas, like Jewel in the Palace, and we gave you Bold and the Beautiful. That's what we gave you as Americans. I'm like, that is not top level American series, you know?
I know. Desperate Housewives, and yeah, it was, yeah. No, it wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing.
Okay. So if you were to meet somebody who's like, hey, I'm new to K dramas, like, what do you recommend that I watch? What would you tell them?
I always ask them what they love to watch on their American TV and or Western media, and then what genres, and then I give recommendations. I'm always biased because Coffee Prince is my baby, and at the time that I watched Coffee Prince, I know Dr. Chi, like, no,
I'll throw a book at you. I'm like, Copy Prince. I'm just kidding. No shade to Gong Yu, because Gong Yu is amazing, and all of the actors in Coffee Prince were great. They're great. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that.
I think it's so much because at the time, it was such a significant period in my life, and I was just identifying with Enchan's character, Hangil's character. Like, they were going through identity, they were going through finding their place and things, and so that's why it speaks to me so much. But I always recommend, so there's Coffee Prince, there's Goblin, there is, what else do I like? Vanity, but I always ask them, like, what's their type in a guy? And then
you're saying you always ask them what type of guy they like?
Ask them what's their type in a guy, and then through that, I recommend a drama based on the male lead, and if they meet those characteristics. So, oh, I don't like pretty boys. I'm not going to recommend Heirs or King Eternal Monarch. Or what's the other one? Anything with Kim Soo-hyun. I don't tend to recommend those. If they want a pretty boy, then I'll give them that. Because really the draw is people are in love with characters that are written by female women, and they're attracted to the men who are written by female women. And so they see their ideal type. And if I want them to get addicted as much as I am, then I give them their ideal type. Here's Ji-sung. He has done he has done Protect the Boss. Like, he's a guy, but he's cute and he's funny, and yeah, that's what I do. I pet him.
Okay, so who would you recommend for me? I love a dirty boy. That's what I call them. Like, guys who are like just not into the whole respectability politics thing. Like, guys who are like clean cut, they're cute, but I like a guy who looks a little rough. Like, I've seen some things.
Okay. Soji Sub is a good one. Soji Sub, and let me get his name. He was just in Our Blues. So have you seen Our Blues yet?
I did see Our Blues, yeah. Mm-hmm.
First episode, the gentleman who his daughter was a golf player, and was
Oh, that guy, that's the one you would choose for me?
Dr. Chi. Have you seen his past dramas? Like, you should watch his one with Kim Soo-nam. It's called City Hall, I believe.
Okay. Let me type it. Make a note. City Hall. Is there anything you'd like to share about, like, your love for K-dramas?
As a reminder for everyone, K-dramas are a form of escape, and they're fun, and not to take it too seriously, and it does not represent what is happening in Korea. So I'm seeing a lot of people really romanticize the Korean culture and lifestyle and wanting to travel and live there because of Korean dramas. I'm just hoping people move out of that state and just enjoy the product and what it has to offer. And yes, you can love it, but you don't have to fetish that word.
Fetishize it. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of K-Drama Support Group.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our show. Stay tuned.